Well, good morning, everyone. So our location today is downtown Decatur. Let me turn this around. Ooh, I don't know why that's doing that. There we go. Woo! It's crazy. There we go. It focuses on that, but it's not focusing on that one. Must be something wrong with the camera or the lens. Oh well, we're gonna have to on 0.5. Well, good morning, Mambo. I had to put you on 0.5 times because if I put it on 1, then it is blurry. If I put it on 2, which is even closer, it's not blurry, but 1 for some reason is blurry. It's been a long time since I've used Prism, and so I have to mess around with it some more. So we were in downtown Decatur checking it out in this towards the end of February. Or actually middle of February, not the end of February. I'm getting ahead of myself. I've been working so much that I don't know what day it is. Now I just got to get this thing set right. Yeah, I got to get me a new gimbal. This thing is has a mind of its own and moves and turns, and I've even updated it and all kinds of stuff. And I tried to I lost my train of thought. So yeah, spring. In fact, I heard a robin singing outside my house. That's the second time I've heard it, and I thought, wow, he thinks it's spring already. But it's nice to hear it. It is about 30 degrees Fahrenheit today. It's supposed to get up in the 40s. I don't know what that is Celsius-wise. Probably about 2 degrees or something like that. It's not quite 0. I think 0 is like 32 degrees Fahrenheit. But I tried to get this to broadcast on Facebook as well, and for some reason it failed. So we'll walk over here to Central Park, where I got the sun right in my eyeballs and I can't hardly see the screen. They've been closing this down at night because there's too many people trying to camp out at here, so I'm sure they got the cops watching this place. And that building right there, that is the transfer house, which used to sit down there at the intersection of Main and Main Street. That's where you transfer from bus to bus, and when they had trolley to trolley. And then that's been changed about 3 times. Actually, that one's probably the best looking one they've had so far. The last one looked like a giant bowl. It was kind of ugly looking. I can't remember what the first one looked like, but yeah, this is probably about the best one they put in here yet. But it's pretty cool looking when the water's going. And this amphitheater thing here, that's changed. And there used to be a concrete wall back there, and they got rid of that. And these things here, they will fold down to create a wall when they have a concert or whatever playing here. And then all this used to be concrete, and they took it out and made grass. In fact, I don't even think the steps were here. I think it was just a straight wall, and you had to basically jump up there to get up on the stage. And some of these shops are still in play. I think that's just, they're just using the storefront to display some stuff. And then Rob's, I think, is still in business. But the Madden Arts Center, that whole part right there is for your arts council and so on and so forth. And then you got the Macon County building title. So I know it kind of seems far away. Let me check this one again and see. It might be my camera. Yeah, see, it's, for some reason it's blurry, and I don't understand why. So everybody's gonna have to be looking far away. I don't know what's going on with it. Of course, the newest one is the Murphy Co. Kitchen and Home Deco. Of course, this bank's been here a long time. Now, there is new things throughout Decatur, but I would have to do one of those little driving videos and go from there. This used to be the First National Bank, and now it's Busey Bank. Let's see, am I still rolling here? About 7.5, a little over 7.5 minutes. Hopefully my signal's good, because it's not telling me otherwise. I wasn't sure if I would just do a live stream at home or go out somewhere. I really didn't have too much to say sitting there at home and trying to entertain people. It would have got a little boring. But down here where those lights are, that's where that transfer house used to sit. Go down Merchant Street. They got some pretty cool shops along in here. This is pretty cool here. All ready for Valentine's Day. this street. They've had it going the opposite direction, and then they put it this direction, then it went the opposite direction, now it's back this direction. So they can't make up their mind which direction they want the traffic to go. And I'm not quite sure. I don't think Sloan's isn't in there anymore. It looks like somebody was in there doing some kind of work. Actually didn't even know they closed down, to be honest with you. And of course we got the gin mill, which I don't even know if that's still going or not. They're kind of expensive. And then Coney McCain's, that's a really nice place to eat at. They actually expanded. It used to be just right here, and they moved over next door and expanded their business over. Now there is a new restaurant down here across the street here. It's called Caddy Shack. I'm not quite sure what it's all about. Probably another sports bar. And then of course the last one there, that's a new place that moved in there called Endgame. Of course, another sports bar. It's like everybody wants a sports bar. You know, every weekend when I come down here, these fire trucks are always sitting out here. I don't know if they're checking businesses or what they do. Every time I come down here on a Saturday, they're down here. And actually, Decatur's lost a lot of businesses partially due to the economy, due to COVID, and people moving out. We're gonna walk down here past my truck where I'm parked at. It's okay. I'm just gonna keep rolling whether people's in the room or not. So when I first moved here in the 70s, this whole area right here, this had a big row of stores, and then this side as well, and they knocked them all down. And this actually used to be like a little walking mall, and I think it was right here is where Kay's Merchandise used to sit. and they had their main building here, and then across the street they had an additional section of different products that they sold. And then there was clothing stores, and I think on the very end here there was a record store. And but yeah, this used to be a little walking mall area back in the 70s, and I think like early 80s they finally started knocking everything down, and you see what's here now. We'll walk down here to by the Avon Theater. This is one of the oldest theaters in Decatur. It actually has now 2 theaters, and it actually has the biggest screen out of any theater in the city. And this building is actually haunted, they tell me. But it is the cheapest theater out of all the theaters here in town. This door here is where their other theater is, and of course this is their main area. So yeah, it's there's your prices right there. So it's actually pretty cheap compared to a lot of cities out there. Now I heard AMC Theater, according to my son, they are now making you pay depending on which area of the theater you're going to sit at. So the middle section is a little higher because it's a good section to sit from the screen. And I told him, I said, you know, they start that and nobody's going to go to the theaters. So that's pretty petty for the AMC to do that, to start charging for not only your ticket, which is overpriced, but for where you're going to sit. I love how the streets and sidewalks are clear of snow. Yeah, we really haven't had much snow, to be honest with you. In fact, I don't even think we had that big of a snowfall this year. But I haven't been to a movie, God, I don't know how long. But this here is El Dorado Street. This is where everybody used to cruise, on El Dorado Street. And of course they stopped that back in the 80s. And nobody does that anymore. So you can see these buildings are falling apart. And this building here is actually haunted too. I don't know if I can get my gimbal to work right. And that is our Civic Center. And if everything looks far away, I'm sorry, but I have to use that camera because for some reason one of the cameras is blurry. And I don't understand why. It's never been like that before. This was actually where, I don't know if I get my stuff set here right. There we go. This is where JCPenney's used to be when I was a little kid. And that building there is where Sears used to be. And then it turned into the library, and it seemed like every time Sears would move, the library would move where Sears is. And so that where the library is now is where Sears used to be also. And now Sears is out of here, so. And that's owned by ADM now. Sometime this year I'm gonna have to invest in a new gimbal, because this one is not working right. Yeah. But I think there's still some, but very, very little. And of course that's our Civic Center, and this is where actually Stephen Decatur High School used to sit. And I think right at the end of the 70s, early 80s is when they decided to knock it down and build a Civic Center there. And it actually made a lot of people mad that they did that. But they had the roller rink in there, the ice rink, and then they've had, I remember back in the 1980s, they had wrestling in there. So all those famous wrestlers have been here, and actually Metallica has even played here as well. And the band Rats played here, and I can't remember who else, but yeah, I remember when all those groups came and played, and I want to say Kiss played here too, but I don't think they did. So, but yeah, all those famous acts came here, and I remember when wrestling was here, and those were fun times. The 80s were fun times. And of course now they got the monument here. Well, I tell you, every time I keep turning this, it starts turning on its own. But yeah, here you go. It's kind of neat. I don't know who designed it, but come on, gimbal, work on me. Yeah. World War II, that's what I want to say. And then our hockey team here is the Decatur Flames. And I don't know what the age is for that. It might be young kids or something, I don't know. And come on, John, get it right. I'll tell you, I start walking and my gimbal just turns. It's fully charged. I promise you, it's fully charged. At least it told me it was fully charged. The light turned green on me. Come on, gimbal. This road here is, of course, a one-way street heading north, and it is Water Street, but we call it 51 North. It's Highway 51. It takes you straight through Decatur and out to Forsyth, Illinois, and up north to northern Illinois. And then this street over from here, it would be 51 South, and that's Main Street. Here's the, come on, John, get it right. Oh, there you That's a statue of Stephen Decatur, who they named this town after. That's actually our tallest building in town. There used to be a big C on the top, and depending on how the lights were on or going, told you the weather, what it was going to do. Of course, this is our main post office. And of course, as you can see down there, it says Decatur Public Library, and that's where Sears used to be, and now it's the library. This building here is actually supposed to be strong enough if there was ever a nuclear blast. This thing is supposed to withstand that. But it's got pretty cool architecture on it. If I can pan up there to it. And they got some cool murals on the inside. Let's see if I can. Oop, come on, John. You can do this. There we go. Got you an eagle up there. This thing always wants to keep going to my left. But yeah, that's our transfer house right there. They keep preserved. That's the symbol of our city. I think they probably take more pride of downtown than anything, but a lot of these stores they need to redo and try to get more businesses down here. But as you can see, that's where the library is, and that's where Sears used to be. And of course, if I can turn this, right there is the bus station. And they named that after one of our congresswomen, and that's named after Penny Severance. And if you go past that bridge way down there, just a little bit down from it is a job that I used to have where I delivered auto parts, and I did that job for about close to 10 years. But we used to have a festival down here at the beginning of August called the Decatur Celebration, and it was 3 days, and it just got to the point where they couldn't afford to do it anymore, and I think the last 2 years, and it used to be free, and the last 2 or 3 years they got a new person running it, and because they weren't making any money, she decided to fence the whole thing in and charge people to come to it, and they lost money doing that because a lot of people didn't want to pay to go to it, and I stopped going to it myself. So they kind of get a lot of has-been acts in here, and but some of them were pretty cool. I think more of the up-to-date ones were the Christian groups that they got in here. They were more of the up-to-date groups, but most of the other ones were groups that were no longer really groups, but they were just doing reunion tours and stuff like that. So and of course that building right there is our courthouse. And this actually used to be a hotel, and it was the Orlando Hotel, and then they ended up turning it into a elderly apartment complex. And the other side kind of reminds me of that movie Bachelor Party. There's a scene in there where when they were in that hotel they were partying in. It kind of reminds me of that hotel. You can even see some of the wording at the top there at what used to be in there. But they used to have a I can't think of the guy's name. There was this billionaire who took his money in Carnegie. We used to have a Carnegie library, and I never got to go in it, but they tore it down. And then of course the library had trouble finding places to be at after that. And then they built a bank in that site. It's pretty sad what Decatur does sometimes. Yeah, they've been trying to do that. Use up the old buildings for things. In fact, some of these here, they're actually apartments that people are renting these and living in them. And one of my old roommates, he had one of these as an apartment at one time, and I've been in some of these and they're pretty cool. But as you can see, these things, they push a button or something, or they might even just unlock this, and they might be electric. But anyway, they come down and they form a wall, and when they have music playing here. But they had a thing here. In fact, they've shown it in other cities. Come on, gimbal, turn. They've had this whole area full of drummers. So they had I can't remember what they called it, but they had a mess load of drummers here playing the same song all at the same time. And yeah, it was a sight. I wish I would have filmed it. This mural right there, a friend of mine and a colleague of hers painted that up there, and they did that during one of the celebrations. And they used to be one of our mayors, and and he passed away from cancer. But there used to be a parking garage here, and it was really bad and falling down and so on. And of course, you can still see parts of it right here. And so yeah, I think it had asbestos, and they had to really be careful and so on and so forth. And so, come on, Gibble, work with me. Of course, this business coming up right here, this is a friend of mine's business. What, if any, are the main sources of employment there? Well, you can work at ADM. Of course, my job's always hiring, and because I work for a pharmaceutical company here, and we're always hiring. Walmart, Target, restaurants. Let's see, what used to be Staley Manufacturing, which is now Tate & Lyle. They're probably always hiring. Of course, as you see, they got all kinds of murals painted. And this place here, this has one of the oldest bowling alleys in this town. And it used to be something else. I can't think of the name of it, but we had one of our school reunions here. I think it might have been the last one we had. But in order to work at my job, you can't have any kind of a arrest record, especially if you were committed a felony, and because we have controlled substances. So we have a permanent DEA person in our building, and every so often that the FDA shows up and does their inspections. Do you know what the highest size of population it was there? How has it gone down? Yes, we used to have close to 200,000 people here, and my guesstimation now, from what I understand, we are down to about 50-some thousand people. So yeah, a lot of people are moving out of this town, and a lot of people are moving out of the state. Now you got some congressmen who are proposing to start taxing Social Security. And if they start doing that, you're gonna find a lot of the elderly moving out of this state. So this is a Democrat-ran state, and they just don't understand that Democrats ruin people's lives, and everybody keeps voting these people in, and all they do is destroy. So you get what you vote for. So I'm gonna come over here and sit down and turn the camera around. Yes, very major drop. Now if I can get my gimbal to work right. All right, we're gonna set you down here. I'm gonna turn you around. Pop you up here. It's probably gonna turn on me, so I'll have to back up a sub. So yeah, here's my new hat that I got, and I like it. I actually had to go a size smaller because when I shave my head, then this thing is turning on me. There it goes. It'll probably turn some more. So that is our downtown Decatur again in one of my live streams, and yeah, this town is, it could be nice if the council could. Hello, Angelina. I hope you have been watching because I'm getting ready to stop my live stream because I got other things I got to do today. So I thought I'd do a live stream because I haven't done one for a while, and see, my camera keeps moving on me. Yes, it is a very nice day. It's going to be in the 40 some Fahrenheit range, which I'm not quite sure what that is in Celsius. But this little section right here, this is a monument dedicated to the black soldiers during the Civil War, and I gotta fix my gimbal again because it's just gonna keep turning on me. Yeah, Decatur once was a prominent city, a very booming city back in the day, and we used to have a lot of presidents that came here throughout the years, and I think once the 1900s kind of came, or actually from 1950s on up, they stopped coming here. They used to have a lot of vaudeville people came here, and yeah, Decatur used to be a very prominent city, and a lot of famous people came here because it was on the way to Chicago, and we are known as the Little Chicago, and but we're also the soybean capital of the world. That's what ADM deals in, was soybeans, and yes, it does stink when they start dealing with it. Well, I'm trying, and I got videos coming up. I got a coffee coming from Canada, matter of fact, and I'm not going to tell you the name of it. You'll have to wait for the thumbnail and the video to come out, and hopefully that will show up here soon. And yeah, that will be an unboxing video along with a taste test, because it actually came with a coffee cup, and you'll get to see that as well. So I got to get more coffee reviews in, and I'm trying to get these companies to send me free products so I can review their stuff. So I'll have to start sending them letters and see what they do. They probably won't do it, but at least I tried. Well, folks, I know one of you just came in, and I was hoping for more people to show up. That's why I kept saying stuff on Facebook, and and I tried to have it broadcast on Facebook, but see, I gotta keep fixing it. It's really pissing me off. So until next time, I'll see you all on the flip side, and make sure you watch that video when it comes out. And I'm trying, I really am trying. So I'm trying to get to 1,000 people. There's some people that make 1,000 in like less than a month, and here I am doing this for like 8 years probably, I think it is, and I haven't hit 1,000. So that just shows you how boring I am, or YouTube is screwing me over. So you all have a wonderful day.